Welcome to Singapore Property Talk Law. This is the deep dive where we really get into the details that matter for Singapore's housing market.
Yeah, cutting through the noise.
Exactly. Today, we're looking closely at the latest Draft Master Plan 2025, stuff from the URA and HDB.
The big players in planning. Their forecasts are, well, pretty important.
For sure. We're focusing on future housing demand and supply, of course. What are they seeing? But first, quick reminder, if you like what we do here, please hit that like button and subscribe. That way you won't miss any of our deep dives on Singapore Property Talk Law.
Good point. And just to add, we're not just going to throw numbers at you today.
No, definitely not.
We want to dig into the why. What's really driving these forecasts? So you get a clearer picture of, what's shaping the residential scene here for all of us.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The Draft Master Plan 2025. There's a headline figure, right, about future housing supply.
Yes, a pretty significant one.
They're talking about building at least 80,000 homes, public and private.
That's right. Over the next, 10 to 15 years?
That's a big number. So what's behind that? Why such a big push?
Well, it's interesting because it's not just simple population growth driving it.
Right.
Not in the traditional sense anyway.
Yeah.
It's more rooted in how people are living now. Demographic shifts, lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
A sort of quiet revolution.
Okay, so what kind of shifts are we talking about specifically?
All right, first up, we're living longer and the population is aging. Simple as that.
So homes are occupied for longer.
Exactly. Then there's this major trend. Household sizes are shrinking. Quite dramatically, actually.
How much are we talking?
Think about this. Back in 1995, the average household had about 3.96 persons.
Okay.
Fast forward to 2024, and it's down to 3.09.
Wow, that's a noticeable drop.
It really is. And it means you need more homes, even for the same number of people. More young couples, more singles wanting their own place.
Instead of staying with parents or extended family, that independence factor.
Precisely. And there's one more piece. The echo boomers.
Ah, yes, the kids of the baby boomers.
Those born late 80s through the 90s, they're now hitting that prime home buying age.
Adding another layer of demand. Got it.
Yeah, so those are the internal sort of lifestyle-driven factors.
Right. So that covers how Singaporeans' own choices are changing the game. But you mentioned it's not just that. What about the bigger picture? Population growth overall.
Mm-hmm. That's the other major factor experts are pointing to.
How does that fit in?
Well, if you look at the numbers, Singapore's total population just crossed the 6 million mark.
For the first time, right, in June 2024.
Yes, 6.04 million to be precise. That's about a 2% increase from the year before.
And where did that growth come from, mainly?
Largely from the non-resident population. That segment grew by about 5%.
Okay. And the government's stance on population targets?
They're clear they don't have a specific target number, but, with a falling birth rate and an aging resident population.
They need to balance things out.
Exactly. So housing plans kind of have to factor in the possibility of needing more foreign employment.
Which impacts both buying and renting, especially in the private market.
Correct. It adds another stream to that overall demand pressure.
Okay, so it's clear demand is rising from multiple angles. Internal shifts, overall growth. So the big question for you listening is, where are all these new homes actually going to be built?
Yeah, where can people expect to see development?
Well, the master plan names quite a few spots. We're talking Newton, Patterson.
Those are prime areas.
Right. Then there's Dover Medway, that's along Dover Road.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the old racecourse site in Kranji.
Big plot of land there.
Huge. And Paya Lebar Air Base eventually, plus the Sembawang Shipyard area.
So quite a spread, geographically.
Definitely.
Mm.
So how do the authorities decide, what goes where, HDB flats here, condos there?
That's a crucial question.
Mm-hmm.
It's unrandom. It boils down to things like, land value is a big one.
Makes sense.
Allowable density, how high or packed they can build, and just plain land availability.
So for places like Newton, Patterson,
Okay.
prime locations.
Exactly. High land values.
Mm-hmm.
So you're typically looking at private housing there, higher-end residences, because that's what the economics support.
Okay. What about somewhere like Dover Medway?
That's a bit different. Land's relatively more affordable there, so it's slated for a mix, public and private housing.
And it's near places like One North, right? The academic and commercial hubs.
Yes, good proximity. That makes a mix viable. And for public housing, HDB projects.
They need scale, usually.
Generally, yes. They tend to be large-scale, high-density developments. That density helps justify the investment in all the supporting stuff.
Like town centers, polyclinics, MRT stations.
All of that. And critically, The land value needs to be low enough so that the flats are still affordable after subsidies. That often pushes them initially to areas maybe further from the center.
So it's a whole calculation: land cost, density, infrastructure
It's
needs.
a complex balancing act.
And it seems it's not just about dropping houses somewhere. It's about creating whole environments,
Mm.
ecosystems.
That's exactly the idea. It
Yeah.
ties into this broader decentralization strategy.
Bringing jobs closer to homes, spreading things out from the CBD.
Precisely. Create economic centers outside the traditional city center. Make commutes shorter. Create vibrant hubs across the island.
Any examples of that in action?
Look at Bishan.
Hmm?
The town center there is getting a major revamp. About 200,000 square meters of new office space.
Wow.
Plus a new hawker center, upgraded bus interchange, polyclinic, a mall. It's about creating a complete work-life play environment there.
So applying that thinking to places like Kranji or Pila Bar, that's a huge potential transformation.
Massive. You're taking large tracts of land, previously used for something else entirely, and reimagining them as new communities. It's a planner's dream in a way, a blank slate,
But with density comes concerns about crowdedness, right?
naturally. But planners are very aware of that. So even with higher density, the focus is also on sensitive design. More green spaces, recreational areas integrated into the planning.
So density doesn't automatically mean feeling cramped.
That's the goal. Better design, more amenities, more green relief.
Okay, so wrapping this up. It's clear Singapore's housing future is, well, pretty dynamic.
Definitely. It's this interplay, isn't it? Demographics changing, how we choose to live, evolving.
Yeah, and then layered with strategic population planning by the government.
And they're putting significant plans on the table to try and meet that rising complex demand.
Really shaping how we'll live in the city in the coming years.
Which brings us to the final thought, really, for you listening.
Yeah.
Knowing all this, the drivers behind demand, the plans for supply, this decentralization push, how does that change your view?
Your perspective on the property market.
Yeah, whether you own a home now or you're looking to buy or even if you're renting. What does this mean for your life, your choices, your experience living here in the next decade or so?
How might these big plans trickle down to affect your day-to-day, your future decisions? That's a really powerful question to chew on. A perfect thought to leave everyone with. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Singapore's housing future.
Our pleasure.
We'll catch you next time on Singapore Property Talk Law.